Ask the Messenger's TV show is a TV show that educates, informs, and entertains our viewers on public health issues such as mental illness, suicide, addiction, illness and disease, COVID-19 relief, crime, domestic violence, homelessness, human trafficking, employment opportunities, healthcare, and more. And now, Ask the Messengers.
Today on Ask the Messengers, Detroit City Council President Mary Sheffield talks about Project Clean Slate, and you will hear from a Detroit resident who shares how this program helped him. Plus, doing business in Detroit, featuring First Step, healthcare training, and Proximate. Ask the Messengers begins now.
I am here with Annette Anderson, and when I tell you this information is going to help you, if you have an aging parent or someone that you care for, maybe they were in a car accident, she trains CNAs. They can do home care, health care, long-term care, work in hospitals, nursing homes. You need to know this information. Let me tell you how to either be in her school or hire those people that come out of her school. Tell our viewers who you are and a little bit about your business.
Hi, my name's Annette. I am the owner of First Step Healthcare Training, and what that is a proprietary school that specializes in certified nursing assistant training. I also offer CPR and BLS training as well.
Wow, First Step proprietary, is that what you said? That's a mouthful. So what does a CNA do? What kind of motivated you to actually get into this business?
So a CNA is a certified nursing assistant. What they do is they help patients or residents in a nursing home or a hospital do activities of daily care where they help them with their blood pressures, walking them, cleaning them, bathing them, and feeding them if necessary. What made me want to get into this business is I started off my healthcare career as a CNA. I did that for about 5 years, and I see a change in the healthcare, and I want to change the way it is and just train the CNAs to what I think is the top standard.
Oh my goodness, Miss Annette. So you started off as a CNA and then you went on to become a nurse. Now we all know, when people are in there with patients, it's so easy for them to forget about like being a human. Sometimes it becomes like a job, a chore. Do you know what I mean? This is obviously your passion, yes. Right? So how are you training, or like what type of training are you giving these folks to kind of like keep them humanized,
So the training that comes along with it is theory, and then you have lab and you have clinical. But when I'm accepting my students, because there is a application process, you have to get accepted, I'm looking for that person that has compassion and empathy. That's what I'm looking for, someone who's going to go into this hospital or this nursing home and take care of that patient like they're their family.
Wow, that kind of like touches me here, because if you have a parent that you're caring for and people that are like near and dear to you that are in the hospital setting, you want them to know that person that actually cares for them. They actually have a heart to do this. How long have you been in business, and kind of what milestones have you had to overcome? Because this is a hard field, period. This is a hard field, and we all know it.
So I am very new to this. I literally just got approved about 3 weeks ago from the state of Michigan, so I'm very happy about that. But I've been through a lot during this process. I went out to the community. I got to know my city council members. I got to know my community, let them know I was here. And I'm trying to build myself around that to let them know what I have to offer, why my school is different than other schools.
Right. This is a milestone. So you're a part of the Motor City Match, right? So the city is actually behind you in doing this venture. If you could give someone some advice that kind of wants to do what you're doing, maybe even something in the healthcare industry, what advice would you give them?
Don't give up. Like, if you really want to do this and you really want to start a business, you have to remember that no matter what the ups or downs, that you want this and you can do this and it's possible. There is nothing in your way. Whatever you want to achieve, you can achieve it no matter what anyone has to say about you.
I know for me, I like my mom, you know what I mean? My mom has been in hospice, and it's something about like to watch someone go through something like that. Have you had to like overcome or see patients go through things, and like how, I don't know, tell the viewers how you kind of like are mustering through your career? Because this is something that's really, really hard to see.
So I've been a nurse for 7 years this year, and I've seen a lot. I've worked the step-down ICU unit, so those are some very critical patients where they're in between the regular floor and the ICU. And I've learned over the years to just try my best to hold my feelings in, but it's still hard sometimes because I am an empathetic person, and sometimes I do bring that home with me, those patients that I really truly feel for. I still remember patients from 6 years ago.
Wow.
But it's like when you really value this, none of that matters. Like, I truly, genuinely value my nursing career, and now I'm truly going to value training others to get to where I'm at.
Tell our viewers where to find you, how to get the people that you're training. If you want some people that are actually for the community, that are going to help you be there with your family members, how can they get in touch with you to either get into this school or to hire the people that are coming from this school?
Okay. So I am on Facebook and Instagram at First Step Healthcare Training. That is 1ST Step Healthcare Training. I'm also have a webpage. It's www.firststep, but it's FIRST Step Healthcare Training. You can also look me up, Annette Anderson, RN. What I really want is for my students to not have to worry about paying for my schooling. So I'm dipping into every avenue I can to try to find out how to get funding. I'm working with any place I can to get funding. So if anybody knows anything about that, because I feel education should not cost. I want them to be able to get to the point of their life where they're self-sufficient and they have a great career.
I just want to say thank you so much for even having a heart to do this, and thank you for joining us.
Without Project Clean Slate, there is no telling where I would be right now.
It gave him back his life, because once he got the felony, it seemed like life was over.
Being unemployed, being depressed, being a burden. Project Clean Slate helped wipe those things away. I can't say thank you enough. I am now able to work for a reputable airline. Detroit had my back, all because I live in Detroit.
Project Clean Slate is amazing. Over 10,000 expungements. I am here with Councilwoman President Mary Sheffield. Again, she is a champion in her field, obviously. Tell me a little bit about your role in this project.
So we actually help fund this project through the city's general fund. So we approve the funding for some aspects of this program. And it's just been an honor because as we saw today, so many lives have been touched, families have been impacted, and really just the ability to remove barriers to employment, housing, and education, which are key to really creating a quality of life here in our city. So I'm excited about the program. Everyone deserves a second chance. No one should be defined by their mistakes. And just the ability to be able to move forward and start over again is so important.
I've seen firsthand. I mean, there's a kid, Steve Howard, 26, 4 kids, 3 felonies. I've seen him graduate EITI, and now he actually has a job working for the Carpenters Union, and it's you guys making the change. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel proud because, these are individuals in our community that want to do great, that want to contribute to society. You actually were at our expungement event that we held. And all of those young people coming in with hope, their hearts and minds were in the right place. They want to do right. They just need that extra push and that support and help like Project Clean Slate. So today is a big day for Detroit to show that we value your potential no matter what your background is. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
My heart is full to even be here, to be able to interview you for your role here. I just want to thank you so much for coming on Ask the Messengers TV show. Thank you so much.
I'm here with Gary. So Gary, how are you today?
I'm okay.
Good. So listen, tell me, first of all, how did you find out about Project Clean Slate? And give us a little bit of how it helped you once you found out.
Well, I found out it through one of my cousins that went through it. And so I said, okay, I'm going to try it. And so far, I have no complaints. It's been helpful. And just to see the felonies fall off on my record, I can't do nothing but be thankful. Because I did make choices as a youth. And once I got free, like they say, you have this cloudy road, and that help makes that road a little clearer.
Okay, now take us through the process. What did you like, what did you do in order to do it? What were some of the steps? So in case, look in that camera and then just kind of explain the process, because I'm sure you were like, this can't be real.
Well, he sent me the link to my phone, and I went online and filled out the application and things like that. And then they had an event at the police station, and so I went and got my fingerprints and things like that. And they gave me a copy of my record of what had been moved and what they were still working on. And I mean, that just made me feel that much more confident about the program. Last week I had an expungement hearing, which was Tuesday. And Wednesday I had an interview with the Juvenile Detention Center. So I felt free of telling them what the process was I was going through, because I knew they probably wouldn't hire me if I had a felony. So felt kind of good to let them know that it was in the process of being expunged.
Now, from one city resident going through, and as you said, you made some bad decisions, and other people who have shared stories through this process have made decisions, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, whatever, however age, doesn't matter. I want you to look right into that camera and talk to some of your homies and let them know about this program and how it has really changed your life and how it helped you. Tell them, don't be scared.
No, they already talked to most of them and shared the process with them. Some of them might be going through it, some of them might not, but I hope they are, because they've seen the change in my life since leaving incarceration and stuff like that. I even had a conversation with one of my cousins last week, and she just like, you come so far, you just made so much change. And she just kind of reminded me of the hurdles I jumped through. And, because I still at sometimes be like, man, and so that conversation with her was real helpful.
If you can make one statement about Project Clean Slate, what would you say in one sentence or one word?
Helpful, a blessing, and I appreciate them. I appreciate the things that they do and offer, because they don't have to. So I'm grateful.
And it's really good to be a City of Detroit resident, right?
Oh, yeah, right now it is.
Years later, I like the way you said that. Right now it is. All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you, too. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the viewing audience? This is your time.
If you need the support and you want to get it off your record, give it a shot. And I had the patience to walk through it.
Without Project Clean Slate, there is no telling where I would be right now.
It gave him back his life, because once he got the felony, it seemed like life was over.
Being unemployed, being depressed, being a burden. Project Clean Slate helped wipe those things away. I can't say thank you enough. I am now able to work for a reputable airline. Detroit had my back, all because I live in Detroit.
Welcome, everybody. We always bring you the most interesting information. I am here with Kevin. Kevin, tell us a little bit about your business, the name of it, and about how long you've been in business.
Sure. So Proximate is the name of it. We've been in business since officially we founded in March of last year, but we didn't go public until September. Tell you about it as in what do we do, right? Proximate is a nonprofit media platform creating stories around participatory problem solving. So what that means is that we're creating stories that explore how we shift power from the top and bring it back to the community, the marginalized and underserved.
Wow, that's interesting. Proximate, that name, that's different. How did you get that name? What does that even mean?
Yeah, so it's the idea of proximity, right? That the stories that we're trying to tell are focusing on the people who are close to the problem, or in other words, they're proximate to the problem at hand.
Since you've been in business, your whole goal is to inform, to let people know, right? What kind of obstacles do you have to face when you're trying to get that information or to get that out to the public?
Interesting question. I guess the obstacles that we face are gathering that information, the research, finding good sources for the information. And then because of our model, we struggle with getting connected with people who actually are in the areas or have lived experience with the problems that we're exploring. We're not telling too many of the stories ourselves. We're going to those places and saying, hey, can you point us to journalists who are based here so that we can then pay them to tell those stories?
Wait a minute. So how can I want to read about your information. How can I find this material? I want to read about everything you guys have to say, because if you're saying it's proximate and it's in proximity to me, that means it's valid. How do I find this information?
Go to proximate.press. Look up Proximate on any of your favorite social media except for X, because we don't have one of those. And on there, you can find all of our articles. You can also sign up for our newsletters, which we have coming out every other month or so.
What motivated you to start a business like this? This is very different. You don't hear a lot of people wanting to spread information.
So for me, I've loved English since I was a kid, loved writing since I was a kid. I went to college for English for some reason. Stupid decision. But I've always been very interested in supporting and helping other people grow and make their dreams come true more than my own, sometimes to my detriment. And with my co-founders, they had wrote a book exploring these ideas. It was already some of the work that I was doing. We were in DC. After I read the book, I was talking to them about it, and he randomly said, hey, I kind of want to start a magazine. So I said, hey, I kind of love marketing and writing. How can I help? And from there, Proximate was born.
So, like, who else is involved with this business with you? You mentioned a partner.
I have two co-founders, Ben Roble and Meg Massey, who are based in New Haven, Connecticut, and Washington, D.C., respectively.
You found these individuals to believe in this dream with you. If you have viewers out there, if they want to start a business, they love writing, what kind of advice could you give them?
So finding people, I would say just go outside. I personally have been to, I spent a year traveling to all 48 states outside of Hawaii and Alaska, specifically to build my network, and then intentionally focus on New York, DC, and California, because that's where the money is. Wanted to bring it back to Detroit. In terms of starting a business, I'll say, like, as my dad told me when I was younger, baby steps to giant steps. You have to make $1 to turn it into $1 million. And if you leave the house, $1 to $2 is a 100% increase. But then also don't forget the path that you take is you're like walking those steps. So don't leave people behind, and try to be the help in the future for others that you needed in the past. Or in the simplest terms, grow wealth, gain power, give love.
Now, Kevin, you've been in business almost a year. And in that time frame, I just want to know, like, what kind of milestones have you had to reach or overcome?
So we went live with our website to the public in September. And in that time, so 4 months, which I'm very proud about, we've put out 40 articles, have had 20,000 visitors to the viewers of those articles in 106 different countries.
Hold up. You guys, I don't know if you heard what I said. How many articles did you say?
40.
40 articles. 20,000 viewers. That is somebody making his mark. Now, what I heard you say earlier was that you were getting that money and you were bringing it back to Detroit. And that is that something that you're motivated to do? Why is that?
Motivated to do because I'm from here. And specifically, I'm from Highland Park, which, if people don't know, is not necessarily the easiest place to be from, especially not with intentions of billionaire ambitions that you want to see come true. And so what I want to do is to make it easier for people like my son and others after me to not have the same struggles that I did to get to where I am.
That's amazing. If you guys don't know, Highland Park was known for the high school with no windows. Yeah. So
the high school that is gone.
Wait, say it again.
It's gone. There is no high school.
There's no high school from where he was from.
There's no schools at all except for a charter school. The charter school that I went to, all the other schools are gone.
That's amazing. He's getting that money. He's bringing it back to Detroit. He's accomplishing things. And if you're from where he's from, you can also do what he's doing. I want you to say it with me on the count of 3. We're rebuilding Detroit. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. We're rebuilding Detroit.
Listen up, P2s. Everybody in. I know things have been tough, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about right now. You know what I see right now? I see the smartest, strongest, most awesomest people in the world. When I first met you, I didn't even know fractions existed. I was so young then. But now, I can do all sorts of stuff with them. For instance, you have 3 floats in my heart. I mean, I gotta save a little room for pizza. Huh? But most people see problems. You see potential. How do you even do that? Seriously, if you have magic powers, you can tell me. Come on. Look, I know there are still hard things up ahead, but I've never seen you give up, so I won't either. And I'm pretty sure together, we can do anything. So for me and kids everywhere, thank you for just being you.
Well, that concludes this week's episode of Ask the Messengers. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you would like to help support our show, please feel free to make a donation of any kind by visiting our show website, www.askthemessengers.org. If you prefer to mail donations, please make check or money order payable to Ask the Messengers TV show and send it to 18400 Schaefer Highway, Detroit, Michigan 48235. Ask the Messengers is the program that deals with things that help you. Thank you for watching.